Welcome to Study Buddy Homeschooling. In today's session, we'll be seeing the topic Asexual Reproduction in Animals. This is part of the chapter How do organisms reproduce? So what is meant by asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction refers to absence of sexual reproduction. So there are no reproductive cells involved. There is no fusion of gametes. The organism just makes clone of itself. Since there is no fusion of gametes, there is no genetic variation seen. So now let's see some methods of asexual reproduction in animals. Some of the methods are fission, fragmentation, regeneration and budding. Let's see each one of them in this session. Fission. As the name suggests, it is direct cell division which occurs in the unicellular organisms. This fission cannot occur in multicellular organisms because there are too many cells. It's very difficult to control the process. So fission is much easier in the unicellular organisms. So this fission is again divided into binary fission and multiple fission. So as the name suggests, binary fission, the mother cell is divided into two daughter cells of equal size. Binary means 2. So in this case, the mother cell divides into two daughter cells of equal size. So there is no genetic variation here. The daughter cells are just the replica or the clones of the mother cell. There is no genetic variation. And we have multiple fission here where from the mother cell, multiple daughter cells are formed. Now let's see the examples of binary fission in amoeba and leishmania and multiple fission in plasmodium. So you can see the diagram here. This is amoeba. We all know that amoeba is a single cellular organism which comes in different shapes. There's no particular shape for amoeba. So when it is about to divide, what happens is the cell enlarges, the nucleus enlarges. So the first division happens in the nucleus. The nucleus starts separating and then simultaneously cytoplasm, plasma membrane separates, ultimately giving rise to two daughter cells here. So the mother cell has completely divided itself into two daughter cells. In the case of amoeba, the division can start at any plane. There's no particular place that it's going to divide. It can be at any plane. So the two daughter cells formed in amoeba are just exact clones of the mother cell. Now let's see binary fission in leishmania. In the case of leishmania, again the mother cell is divided into two daughter cells. But unlike amoeba, where it can divide at any angle, any place, here the division is only happens at one single plane. It's longitudinal. Here you can see in leishmania where the nucleus duplicates first and slowly the cell starts separating at the cytoplasm, plasma membrane, and finally two daughter cells are formed which are exact copies of the mother cell. And next you have multiple fission in plasmodium. In the case here, the single cell divides to form number of cells, and after some time these cells break out of it and each cell forms a new organism. Again they are the clones of the mother cell. Genetically there is no variation. Fragmentation. Fragmentation happens in multicellular organisms with fewer cells. In the case of fission, we saw that it happens in unicellular organism. But fragmentation happens in multicellular organisms with fewer cells, where there is no differentiation of cells and tissues and organs. So in such organisms, you can see fragmentation happening. Spirogyra, which is a green algae, is the best example of fragmentation. Spirogyra is a green filamentous algae which you can find in the ponds. So in the case of Spirogyra, the filaments start breaking out and they fall on the medium again wherever they are, and they start growing into other organism. It doesn't happen naturally, but because of any mechanical injury, or because of increase in salinity levels, or increase in higher temperatures, this septa gets separated and this one falls as a fragment and it gives rise to another individual. Next we have regeneration. If an organism is cut into pieces, each piece has a capacity to grow into an organism. Best example is planaria and hydra. You can see here planaria here. It is being cut into 3 pieces and each piece is capable of producing a new organism. The same happens with hydra as well. So even most of the organisms cannot have this capacity. They do not have this capacity because it's very difficult to manage in multicellular organism where tissue level, organ level differentiation is there. It is definitely not possible to regenerate a whole organism. But with lower organisms, it's possible because it's mostly single cell or few cells. But in humans, liver has this capacity. Liver, when cut, either due to disease or some infections, after 6 months, liver would have grown. So only liver is capable of regenerating itself in the human body. Next we have budding. Best examples are hydra and yeast. So what happens is there are certain regenerative cells present in the body of hydra and yeast, and they accumulate at a specific site and they grow rapidly, thereby leading to a bud formation. As these bud grows, they detach out from the mother organism and they start growing on their own. Here also there is no involvement of sex cells. There are special cells called regenerative cells. They are very much somatic cells without involvement of any gametes. For any queries and clarification, please contact us at studybuddyhomeschooling and at gmail.com. Thanks for watching and please do subscribe to our channel.